Okay, we're out at the Costco in Woodinville, and we're looking at asphalt repairs and crack fill. There's also going to be striping involved at this property. This is a project that we are bidding out to Costco and Let's Pave. We've been asked to come out and look at the different repairs that are out here that are needed. There's some very large repairs. There's some smaller repairs. There's 20 repairs in all, 1 through 20, and I've labeled them on this map that was given from Costco. I was out here the other day when it was dumping rain, and I got totally soaked. But I was able to get a chance to see what this parking lot looks like when there's a ton of water sitting on it and flowing. And then now I get to look at it today where it's completely dry. So this was a good opportunity for me to see both conditions. And based on that, I started to look at the different areas that myself, and I believe it was Rachel, we walked last Friday. We walked a majority of these areas around the building of Costco, but as I was looking over in these areas that I've marked, these areas look very similar to what we see over here around the building. Now, a majority of these repairs that you see going down this entrance are areas that are main drive aisles for the trucks. They come from the fueling station, which is on the northeast end. And then you've got this area where number 15 is, where a lot of people drive every single day. Number 19 is another area where everybody enters in, and number 20, where they enter into the fueling station. So there's a lot of asphalt failure in these locations. So like I said, I found 20 different repairs that seem most critical. Areas that we could grind with a grinding machine and then overlay it were areas 10 through 15, areas 17, 19, and 20. I'm going to create a much cleaner version of this aerial map so that we can provide this to the customer. As far as staging goes, our paving crew would need to have a nice large area. This would be a prime example of where it would be nice to have a staging area for us because it's got the least amount of traffic. So this is on the south side of the building, okay, where all these repairs are 1 through 8. So it's just south of repairs 9, 8, and 7, probably the best areas for us to stage. Okay, one of the challenges here is going to be the loading dock area, which is areas 10, 11, 12, and 13. This is where a lot of deliveries happen. So we will have to strategically look at how we can do this. Maybe it's we pave half, grind and pave half of this section in 13, 12, and 10, as well as on number 14. That might be an idea. And then we come back and we do the other half of that section. Same thing would go with number 15, 19, and 20. We might have to do something where we split it, or more specifically in 19 and 20, we might just need one day where we can get that ripped out and pave it back, as well as, you know, an area that's over here. So that way we're not closing this thing down. If there's a request for night work, that is fine, but there will be extra costs to do the work at night because we'd have to charge a mixed plant opening fee to have it opened after hours. All right, another thing we need to know is what are the best days to be in here to do this work. Right now I don't have the quantities as far as the dimensions, but there will be dimensions provided for each number that I have marked on here. So we're going to look at repairs 1 through 9. Let's start off with number 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we're at the southeast corner of the property. Right on the other side of this speed bump, you've got a large area of alligator cracking in here that I'm going to consider through the first 3 parking stalls until you get to that sewer main lid, and then over here to the speed bump. Then we've got the second patch on the other side of the speed bump. It won't be on the full drive aisle, but it'll be on half of this roadway, and 1, 2, 3, about 4 parking stalls in, you've got major asphalt failure here. So this would be an area that we would fix. Okay, so those are the first two repairs. Repair number 3, take a look here real quick. Okay, so yeah, that's the first 2 repairs. There's some failure that's right here too, but could be crack filled. We'll have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 stalls in order to capture this alligator cracking in this area. This area could probably be crack filled. Over here we've got our next repair, and you're going to see catch basins at this whole road down here, and at each catch basin there's going to need to be asphalt repair, because when I walked this on Friday, there was a lot of puddling. There was excellent drainage. As soon as it drops into the catch basin, the water was flowing just fine, but water was pooling at almost every catch basin here. So what we should do here is we'll remove, on this particular one, which is repair number 3, we'll go from curb to stall line and get the drive aisle replaced and go about 3 parking stalls in. So starting at this one, 1, 2, 3, we repair this area. So that way we can change this whole area and make sure water's flowing correctly to the catch basin and not puddling in this area. If we just try to fix this small little area, there's a good chance that this could be raised and water would start collecting around it and not flowing properly to the catch basin. So to be able to fix this whole thing as one patch would be the best ideal thing to do. And it's going to be the same way on all the catch basins going down. All right, so the next one we're looking at is over here, over on this drive aisle. Okay, so here we are on the very back side on the south end. This is repair number 4. And again, this will be from about, let's say, from the corner here, it's going to be about 2 parking stalls in, starting from right about here. Okay, I just noticed something from a different angle here. On patch number 2, I think patch number 2 should continue all the way through, because there's different cracking and there's pockets here where it's starting to separate. And by next year, it's probably going to look a lot worse. You got this whole area that looks bad. So what I did is I measured 5 parking stalls in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus now we're going to include this all on patch number 2. All right. And what we'll do is we're going to measure all the way to where this existing overlay was done at one point. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th stall in, you'll see a seam line. And we'll replace all of that. And that's it on this side. Over here, we've got repairs 5 through 9, okay? The 5th repair, so the 5th repair is right here where the parking stall starts. You've got the crosshatched area. We would take care of this whole drive aisle and go all the way in about 1, 2, 3, 4 parking stalls. So right at this 4th parking stall, we would come all the way across the road and we would fix this whole area that's damaged. Okay? Moving down here a little bit farther, we got repair number 6. It's not at a catch basin, but it's starting to fail, and there was a lot of water collecting here the other day. So from that door, it's like 2 parking stalls over, and it's going to be just this repair here in the middle. We don't have to do the whole drive aisle, but we'll probably do about a 6 foot wide repair here and do that area. Here, we'll start the next patch, which is number 6, the catch basin. So from that catch basin, we'll come back about 1.5 stalls, go all the way across, fix this whole area. This was the worst one, I believe. It had the most water. We'll go past the catch basin, about 2 stalls. Here's another repair, same thing. We'll come about 1 parking stall back on this side, and then we'll go 1 parking stall this direction and fix this whole area in the center. Then you've got your repairs 10 through 13, which takes us along the back of the property here. So starting from the drive aisle, from curb to curb, all of this should be ground out and overlaid. I also include in patch number 11 the parking stalls that go all the way down to the concrete. So we would end up grinding all along this edge until we hit the concrete pad here at the loading. We would also grind out the whole stall area there, because as you can see, there's tons of alligator cracking. The asphalt is failing, not just in the drive aisle, but in the parking stalls too. So it makes sense to take care of that. We might not have to go all the way to the curbing, but if we do go to the curbing, it would probably make the most sense to make it one patch and cause one less seam. Okay, so I'm measuring to go all the way to the curb and out to this concrete, this imaginary line, all the way out to the entrance, and then we would stop right here. We wouldn't do any asphalt repairs in here, just do some crack fill. Over on this side, similar thing. We won't have to go all the way to the wall here, but we should come out about, it's going to be about 8 feet from the wall, and do from the stall lines here. We don't have to go into the stalls, but from the edge of the stall line, this whole drive aisle, fix this whole area. As you can see, this area is not too bad as you go through this area. It's really more in the center. So now that I'm seeing this, evaluating it, we'll be able to go from that seam in the concrete where that lid is, there's an iron lid, and we'll just draw an imaginary straight line all the way down, and we'll do half. We'll only do half of the asphalt here until we get to this spot right here. That could be fixed. This area is really bad though, so this whole half should be replaced all the way to you'll see on this map I marked everything on here, but we don't need to do everything. We just need to do half of the roadway here, and then it'll kind of come out and do a little section right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 at the 4 stall here, we'll come straight across down to the speed bump. We'll capture this area here that's starting to fail from the trucks, and then we'll only do that half of the roadway. On this side of the speed bump though, we'll fix these cracks that are in here because they're starting to fail, they're starting to widen. I'm afraid if we do crack fill, it's going to end up looking like this in about a year. So the next patch I'm doing is to replace all the asphalt to the concrete and out to the parking stall line edge. So we'll get all of this asphalt in here. Then we would go all the way down the drive aisle. We won't touch the parking stalls. We might go in a little bit into the parking stalls there because there's some failure right about those tires. But all this drive aisle area we'll do. We'll stop right there at the curb, and that would be the next patch here for grind and overlay. The other thing I put on this map is that this whole section going all the way down to the gas station where the stop sign is, all would need to be ground down and replaced because it all looks very similar. Okay, and then over here, I'm going to show you the next area. On my map right now, I considered it as number 15. You've got some different cracks that are going on in this area. There is some alligator cracking. I didn't include this because it's not as critical as some of these other areas. But there is a patch right here. It's not on my map right now, but I'm noticing this half of the roadway from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stalls in needs to be taken care of on this half of the road all the way to this stall, and would probably end right at about this column here. And this area right here should probably be ground out and removed, replaced. My next big repair is right here. Starting from here, going from concrete to curb, and then kind of coming in just a little bit where this crack is, we would remove this section in between these curbs all the way down. And then this main drive aisle You see imaginary line right there where the seam is. All of this needs to be removed. This right in here needs to be taken out with the grind. We would do this at the insert of each one of these little drive aisles until you get down to the end. Okay, so now I'm down here at the end of the crosshatch where I believe it was Rachel and we talked about we would grind all the way down until we got past this crosshatch, right about where this stop sign is. Come out, remove and replace this. We also would do this section right here where the crosshatch is, plus these two stalls. When I was out here on Friday, there was a lot of water collecting right here, so it's kind of puddled. It needs to be redone, lifted up a little bit so the water will kind of flow away from this area. Right now, it's just a huge pocket causing issues, okay? So I included this. I also included this drive aisle going all the way down to about, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7th stall. There's a seam that kind of goes across the road there. It's about 2 stalls from the cart corral. This whole drive aisle we would replace. Where that boat is down there, I think, yeah, that area is fine. But over here, at patch number 18, we've got one catch basin, or not a catch basin, but we got a sewer main lid all the way down here at the very end near the fueling station that needs to be repaired. That area right there is going to be about an 8x8 patch to fix that, because right now it has the sewer main lid, or the man lid, exposed. It's got a hole here, and it's a big pocket where water's collecting. That's why that has popped out. So we would need to fix that. There's one more little patch right there. That would be a 6x6. This would be an 8x8. That area over there is fine. From this stop, from where that car's driving, that was that long stretch of drive aisle I was talking about that we would need to replace, which was patch number 14 on my map. You'll see there's other areas where there's a little bit of asphalt failure here. We probably should replace these too. I will have this on my map from this cart corral, from the cart corral all the way out and across the road. We would replace this whole area right here. This is an area that had water collecting. It's damaged, okay? So please take note that I'm noticing a couple more repairs as we go. So we're gonna probably be up to around 22 repairs. I think that's what I've done, is I've added a couple more. Okay, we're down to the last couple repairs. This whole section where the red car is, you've got concrete, you got speed bump. This whole area here is failed. And then it goes all the way over there by the arrows. It's failed over there too. So we would need to take out this whole area all the way up to about where this repair has been done, just before the curve. You can see kind of a radius that was right here. Well, we need to go just past it, take out all this damaged, failed asphalt, grind it, overlay it all the way to that section there. Over here, we've got some crack fill that we can do, but from this point right here, coming right about in the center, this whole drive aisle at the entrance of the gas station would also need to be removed. And we would go all the way out to that truck right there, right where the drive aisle is. Keep in mind, all these areas I've looked at, some of them have striping. All that striping will be included in the bid. There will be crack fill included on the bid for the entire parking lot. Okay? There'll be a price for not only grinding and overlaying, but it'll also be for patchwork as well. It's going to take multiple days to get this job done, but definitely is easily doable. We just got to talk about phasing, and we're going to propose to phase some of this out so that we can keep business moving. Some areas might have to be totally closed, but there is other areas of access that customers can get to, because there's this entrance here and there's an entrance on the other side of Costco. All right, any other questions, let me know. Right now we're going to assume that it's a 3-inch depth on the asphalt.